Today we will be talking about the Boiling Spring Lakes Police Department survey analysis. First, we will go over the survey background. Then I will present to you the survey questions. We will then have an analysis overview. I will display to you the results. And then I'll give you my recommendations. The surveys were sent to all households in the Boiling Spring Lake area. The questions consisted of rankings, like you see to your right, yes or no answers, and nominal questions like age, sex, and area that they lived. Questions in the survey consisted of these main topics. How safe do you feel in Boiling Spring Lakes? What are your safety concerns about Boiling Spring Lakes? What safety and nuisance problems does Boiling Spring Lakes have? And what is your experience and perception of the Boiling Spring Lakes Police? One question asked, what area in the town did they live? As you can see, there is one area within the town where most people lived, although the distribution is not that uneven. This, however, is the age distribution. As you can see, individuals who are 60 and over make up for most of the town's population. In comparison to the U.S. Census, the percentage of individuals who are 60 and over is 16.2. In Boiling Spring Lakes, that percentage jumps to 51.5. This shows the gender distribution for males versus females in the town of Boiling Spring Lakes. As you can see, the distribution is pretty equal. For the U.S. Census, 50.9% are female. In Boiling Spring Lakes, that percentage is 57.22%. The following are the analysis questions created to find out if there are any relationships between the variables in the survey. Does gender have a relationship with feeling of safety? Does gender have a relationship with concerns about drugs, drinking, or trespassing? Does interaction with the Boiling Spring Lakes Police Department have a relationship with the perception of how they serve? And does the residence area have a relationship with their feeling of safety? While doing this analysis, I conducted an independent t-test, a NOVA test, and a chi-square test. But what does this mean? I did these tests to find out if these relationships exist. And what could that mean for the Boiling Spring Lake Police Department? The first test results for does gender have a relationship with the feeling of safety? We had 337 people respond. The results were not statistically significant. This means an individual's gender does not have a relationship with a resident of Boiling Springs Lake feeling of safety. The next question addressed will be discussed with the three separate variables of drugs, drinking, and trespassing. For gender versus drugs, 316 people responded. The results were not statistically significant again, so this means that an individual's gender does not have a relationship with the level of concern they have with illegal drugs in their town. Next is gender versus drinking. 332 people responded to this question. The results again were not found statistically significant. So again, an individual's gender did not show a relationship of the level of concern with the public drinking in the town. And for the last one, gender versus trespassing. 335 people responded to this question, but again, the results were not statistically significant. For our next question, does interaction with the Boiling Springs Lake Police Department have a relationship with the perception of how well the police department serves that area? 332 people responded to this question, and the results were statistically significant. This means that statistically, an individual that has had an interaction with the police department within the past 3 years reported lower on the scale for agreeing that the police department serves their area well. The next question was, does the residence area where they live have a relationship with the feeling of safety? 343 people responded to this question, But the results were not statistically significant. An area that a resident lives did not have a relationship with their feeling of safety. So what can we do with this information? Individuals who have had contact with the police department showed lower satisfaction with the police department. However, the difference was not meaningful. So it would be hard to make an assumption off of this information. However, how well do you feel the Boiling Spring Lakes Police Department does in providing services to the community? These were the responses overall. Most of them ranked very high, while some of them ranked low. What does this mean? It means that people overall are pleased with the service that they are providing. Also, would you hesitate to call them if you needed assistance? Most of the answers were at a 2, which means that they responded no, they would not hesitate. This is a very important factor when looking at the results. It reveals the town's comfort level with the local police department, even though we may not have found any meaningful relationships. Based on these findings, my current recommendations are continued practices within the Boiling Spring Lake Police Department because the results show that they are doing a great job in the eyes of the town. Also, creating a safety practices pamphlet. This will increase the awareness and knowledge of the citizens. Regardless of their standing with the police department, it is always helpful for individuals to have more information of what to do in emergency situations. I am also proposing an annual Boiling Spring Lake Police Department Festival. Who would this involve? The Cape Fear Region Police Department representatives from areas of New Hanover County, Brunswick County, as well as Pender County. Why? This will increase awareness, acceptance, comfort levels, and knowledge of the police departments in the local Cape Fear area. And what will it involve? Friendly competition and a festival with police-themed games. This is going to mimic a firefighter festival that is held in Southport annually. It brings together all the area individuals who are public servants, and they are able to raise money for a local cause. This will give residents in the area even more exposure to the local authorities, hopefully increasing their comfort levels with them. In conclusion, the Boiling Spring Lake Police Department is doing a credible job with resident satisfaction and their feeling of safety. I recommend that they continue doing what they're doing while adding in those extra pieces in order to increase awareness, knowledge, comfort level, and safety of the citizens of Boiling Springs Lake. Based on the analysis results of the tests done, the survey showed no meaningful relationships between the variables, even though there may have been a statistical one. Regardless of the positive results, there can always be more done to bridge the gap between authorities and the individuals they serve in the community. Thank you for your time.